Okay, welcome everyone. What we are doing today, we're having a unscheduled Q&A for anyone who has any questions, so that we can answer them concerning the game today. Otherwise, we are going to be doing our Saturday development show, because tomorrow I'm taking the kids out to Hollywood Studios. So today's the day to catch me. So I'm also at another, we're broadcasting as well through another system for other attendees that may be joining us. And I'll be taking questions. I don't know if you'll be able to hear the questions or anything, but if you see me responding to somebody's questions, either that or the chat room. Speaking of which, I should open. What I'm going to do is give you guys a updates on our progress so far. There's some interesting updates that we have to share with you today. So we'll be sharing with you in a few moments. And just make sure that we get everything going that we need. Is that? We're also taking chats from YouTube, if anyone joins us from YouTube. we'll be on probably for 2 hours tonight or so. What I didn't do was do halves, but we'll have to do without halves today, right? Because we have, instead of halves, we have the other. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, sorry for that delay. The last thing we were doing, just so guys can connect the videos together, we are still working on the user interface, the Game Master user interface. Really, this one of the panels, control panels, as I'm sitting in this chair, the Game Master would be sitting in their chair, let's say in the ship, because they're controlling the ship as part of their game mastering. So, at their chair, they will have some type of control console. That's what I'm creating the user interface for of late, and basically now it's we went through some testing and making improvements in terms of how that's all going to be working. Excuse me. And now we're just in the design phase, really, of the user interface, making the buttons, and I still have to look at animation of at least giving it some type of, we want to have some type of color animation happening so that the buttons look like they're on, and maybe changing, from red to yellows and oranges, stuff like that, so that it gives it, some type of the effect that it is connected and live, not that it's doing anything in particular. So that's something that we're going to be looking into. Adding that functionality, if it can be had, it would be nice to have it. But today I won't be working on that, at least that's not my plan. But we will be discussing where we're at in development, as we just started, and new things that are coming up. So let me start recording that. So let's give them a few more minutes to get in. I know this we left it open for anyone to come in. If anyone is watching, you can have a question and answering session at any time by submitting your questions about SPACEPERIUM. What do you want to know about SPACEPERIUM, and I will give you the answer to it. The website, for those of you, how you guys doing? Yes, well, come on in. I was just going to explain a little bit about the website. SPACEPERIUM website can be found at mycbh.com/games with a capital G /SPACEPERIUM, all small letters there. And on that website, you'll look down. Let me try to get a screenshot of that for you guys and transmit that for you guys here. Let's see. I don't see that this one is set up for showing that to you. So let me just switch the scene here to give you that. Okay, general cast. Let me try this one. Okay, sorry about that. One moment. Trying to get everyone together here. There's many different streams happening at the same moment. And we have bottom and alrighty, testing 1 2 3. Yes, we have video and audio. Okay, so here's the website, the SPACEPERIUM website. So far, this website is multi-purpose. It's not just it's informational, but it also has some functionality with the game itself. But those things will be, those are things the game master will be trained in, so that they'll know what to do. And the user interface, the software, ties into the website, at those areas during gameplay. I have a technical issue that I'm trying to resolve on one of the streams. One moment. And let's see what's happening with you. Oh, I see. This is... one moment, please. Let me just try to reconnect this camera. It's not okay.
Can it work with any game, any computer?
Okay, yeah, you can ask any question concerning the game. Are you hearing me okay in Jitsi?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was just wondering if it can work with any computer.
Okay, that depends what you're talking about. There's different...
Chromebook?
Say that again?
Chromebook?
If it depends what role you're taking in the game. So that's why I'm asking the question. At this stage of the game development, you have... Just like you're able to do now, most of the players will do what you're doing now, which is observing and then participating in a back and forth with the game master and with the other players.
Okay.
Okay, so this is and let me explain something about SPACEPERIUM. If you, I don't know how much you've read on it so far, but SPACEPERIUM is it's a game that's going to be developed in different game genres. All right, so that as we develop the game, it goes through these different genres, and we develop fully within the genre before introducing the next one. that doesn't mean that the players in one genre will necessarily transport, over to, or port over to the other one. Okay, so and when we get to the final stage is a full-blown video game.
All right.
When we get to the full-blown video game, we will have, for example, just for the argument's sake, 4 or 5 different game genres fully running, fully functioning at the same time. So that, it's not like everyone's playing the video game. There'll be some people playing still this first stage and want to stay in the first stage. They're different groups. As I was going to mention before you started your question, part of some other developments we have with the game include some apps. People will be playing, let's say, on their devices, their cell phones. So they will play different aspects of this game with using, let's say, their cell phone, just simply the cell phone. And they will be playing a game within the SPACEPERIUM, umbrella. But that would be separate than, the players who are playing the game, let's say, closer to what we're doing right now tonight, and that will be broadcast on Twitch, for example. And the one that requires the game master is a separate game in and of itself. At the SPACEPERIUM website, this one is mycbh.com games, SPACEPERIUM, and this is the article called Untitled About SPACEPERIUM Project. Here, it gives you most of the details of the background information and some of the storyline behind SPACEPERIUM. It starts you off with the year is 2019. I'm not going to read it because it's something that you guys can read on your own time, but it goes through what SPACEPERIUM is you see some coins there. SPACEPERIUM has its own coinage in game, but also it's a blockchain, so it also will have some as you are aware of cryptocurrency, it will have its own valuation within SPACEPERIUM, because it's not going to be a publicly exchanged coin, but it will be evaluated within the SPACEPERIUM gameverse, if you will. And it will have this value based on SPACEPERIUM monetization. So this game produces income, which is one of the other features of this game. And one of the ways the income is accessed is through the SPACEPERIUM coin. This is also referred to in this article. Now, it talks here about the first genre. The first genre is a LARPing phase. Now, when do you know what the LARP is?
Live action role play.
Yeah, okay. Have you done any?
No, I've been wanting to.
Okay, you've been wanting to, though, because when I saw, I think you're the Wolfric on at Meetup. That name to me sounded like someone that would know what LARPing was or was interested in LARPing. But anyway, it's just it was just a thought that came to my mind. Yeah, so
I played. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I played role playing games before, like typing out role playing, like real time role play.
Okay, yeah. All right. So what we're doing is that, as you know, this is I'm going to describe to you what will be happening. Those of you who came through Meetup, you have already a mindset in Meetup. So I'm going to build it out from the Meetup mindset or the Meetup experience. SPACEPERIUM, you guys are going to, it's like a club. It's going to be, you're part of a crew. So that's the first premise. You're part of a crew of a ship. SPACEPERIUM is geo-based. What it means is we mix real life, your everyday life, with a future space existence, a future spacefaring empire, right? So that at any given moment you are in the future space empire, the same, you know, some people would be the same. And for example, you have some professionals, people who will be, let's say, medical doctors. They will be playing SPACEPERIUM as a doctor because that's their experience, their knowledge. The goal of SPACEPERIUM is to actually create a synergy of thinking in a futuristic sense and tense, right? Thinking about problems that will be encountered in space. These things are, these missions, if you will, are carried out in the gameplay, but they're, you know, those people who can, because not everyone wants to even think about things like that, but those who can, they're encouraged to actually think about these things and do, you know, look into them and make suggestions or think or discuss what would possibly be a solution to this problem or that problem. The game, as it goes along, it will present issues, problems that have to be resolved by the players playing at any given moment. So that is the premise, and people with expertise, even, you know, NASA personnel and whatnot, are encouraged to join SPACEPERIUM and to become part of the you know, the contributors in the game. So it's, you know, so it's quite expansive in terms of what it encompasses. So you get together. We get together every week, at least, depending on the game master. He'll call it a mission. There's 100 players, 100 crew members. They can't all play at the same time because you guys don't have all the same schedules. But it's available every week. The game master will create these games, the times he will announce, and those who can join will take turns in the different mission roles of the crew, and the games will play. And that's how it will play. And it's, you know, some people's schedule will probably, you know, they can probably play every week, once or twice, and some people maybe just a few times a month. But whatever it is, between the 100, every person is encouraged to play online, as the online video game, like we're doing now. We're talking. We might be on a mission, very easily be on a mission, and the game will be played just like we're doing. Like if you were on a ship and we encountered some issue, and you're the engineer, so it falls on you to solve it, to make suggestions. The website that you see, as time ensues, will fill with contributions on how to solve certain issues. You know, what's the thinking about this issue, this problem, blah, blah, blah. And it's just basically, let's say your role was the engineer, it's really to go look at it, look at what others have done in this similar situation, and, you know, make a note of it. It's as simple as that. Again, some people that have an engineer in mind may make a contribution, may think that there's something that could have been done a little better, and just make a note of it. It's just a simple thing, just a little note. I think this thing could have been done better if this is used instead of that, and it's just a note, and you put the date on it, blah, blah, blah. So that's really all the engineer really needs to do is to provide a report, is to provide some comment, and just to check in that they went and actually did this task. And then this is part of what the game master incorporates into the solution to that particular situation at that moment. And the game progresses from there. It just depends. The game uses a roll of the dice as a game mechanic, and that's on the screen, which I'll show you. Let's get back to. Let me get back to the ship, so I can show you. Go ahead. You can ask a question while I do this.
I'm in my second month of my college course. Have you heard of Full Sail University?
Yeah, Full Sail. I have a family member that graduated from Full Sail. Hold up a second. I'm having an issue here. One moment.
Sir?
Yeah, I have a family member that graduated from Full Sail. Am I freezing on your end too? It looks like. Just give it a moment. Everything is. Everything's resetting itself. Okay, are we back?
Yeah.
It's just all this space travel is very precarious out here.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm starting to be a vegan designer. It's so far so good.
All right, so I'm sorry about that. It says the computer's taxed at its max right now because I do have multiple streams playing at the same time. So we have to go nice and easy as we go along. And let me get everyone else on par with where we're at now. One moment. Okay, just checking audio. Alrighty, same type of stuff. I made a video the other day talking about how getting the broadcast to do everything right and making sure that everything is working and the mics are working and sound is heard, all of that. Even though that's not what you'll do on a spaceship, but it is just like, checking systems and making sure that everything is working at any given moment. So it provides the game master is the one who's really going to have this issue particularly, and it provides the game master with at least that connection to some reality in terms of dealing with problems. So for the game master, it's going to be it's challenging, but that's part and parcel of the experience of having so much to deal with and buttons to press and making sure that everything is working right? So you can imagine how it is for a space traveler, an astronaut, someone controlling a spaceship, and engineers and whatnot there. You guys got to control your buttons and know what's going on and monitoring the ship system. So it gives you the same that same stress, I guess, when things aren't going right. But at least you don't have to suffer all the stress because you're not going to blow up. So you don't have that stress. But yeah, you want everything to work right. All right. So yeah, basically we're here at the screen. This is the basic game that people will see on Twitch. And I'll explain a little bit about what you're looking at. The screen above me is the what I call the heads-up display. The ship's design is that there's no windows. We don't have windows on a spaceship. What you're looking at is a computer-generated image. It's a screen that the computer, and we have a computer, an AI, that has great abilities. Okay, but that's part of the storyline. You can read that on the at SPACEPERIUM, the website. And you'll be hearing about it also as the game progresses and whatnot. So the AI control helps. It's like an automatic pilot. It assists the crew in controlling the ship, takeoff and flight, and planning routes, etc., etc. What things you would expect from any modern ship flying through space. But since there's no windows, the time that we've designed the game for a time where we have these things, we're able to warp, have warp drive, we're able to travel. There's no windows in space, but the technology still is yet challenged with trying to provide second by second action in terms of what's happening outside the ship. So the computer generates images. In certain times of, let's say, takeoff, the imagery is a little bit spotty. So it's what you call it. There's a lot of you will call it some lagging. It is laggy. It's still there's transitional. You'll see this screen pop up every once in a while during the liftoff. And that's just the computer. This is a default computer screen, so it lets the computer catch up, if you will. So that's what's happening in the background. The computer's busy doing so many things, controlling so many things, and the display is a secondary function. It's not important because obviously the ship's crew knows to read the numbers. That's the important information. The display is not important. It's there, but it's not a primary system. So during the game, this screen is not your. It provides the entertainment. Speaking about the players, it provides us the entertainment and the view, but it's not regarded. It's not. We have to know that at any given moment, especially for takeoff and sometimes for landing, the view may be the play. The scene may be interrupted by this screen here or some other interference or whatnot. It's just simply just that the time of this development, it is not does not provide for any for foolproof display of environment of what's happening outside. So that's a little explanation that on what happens with the screen. And later on, also during gameplay, that will cause some issues, some challenges during gameplay, but that's to deal with later on. And so, as you see, I have a representative of the crew here. It really doesn't matter. You are speaking to me. You hear me from this other connection, right? So, imagine yourself with other players also connected at the same time. And we're on a mission. You can see the dice is on one side of the screen. There's 3 die there. Everything has a meaning. The game master is trained. They get the training on what the dice mean and when the dice are to be set, or at least set to give you a random figure. When the game starts up, these dice are played a few times because it dictates what goes on and what type of mission and things like that. So it's very randomized. We're using that mechanic right now to randomize the gameplay throughout. And at some point on the other side, you'll see the timer. At some time, especially when we're here stuck on some issue, you, let's say, and you are the one chosen, the roll of the dice will also tell the game master which of the players has to deal with this problem. So let's say now it was your turn, your selection from the dice for you to solve the problem. And if the problem is timed, is that part of the gameplay? If it's a time thing, then the clock will go. And so everything is adjusted according to your response time, what you responded. All of these things get factored in to dictate later on, how many points you got. Also will be in the manual explanations and whatnot. All right, and so basically, to go back to where I started from, the meetup is a live thing. Now, we haven't been meeting up live because of the COVID thing, and that's understood. But once everything is free and clear from the COVID issue, the crew will actually meet at the meetup. That will be the crew meeting. And it will be a mission. So the meetup becomes a mission. You are in gameplay. Since we're developing, and now I'm talking about serious stuff here, so I know it's going to be difficult because sometimes I'm talking game, and other times I'm talking real stuff, right? So you got to bear with me. Since we're developing an app for phones and tablets, players will actually be engaged in game while attending a meetup. The meetup can have a mission. Okay, everything's controlled by the game master. So the meetup can actually be on a mission. Every meetup is a mission of one type or another. And with the app that we're developing, these devices, they're used like if you don't look. I come from the Star Trek time, so the Star Trek we had tricorders and stuff like that, the communicator, stuff like that. So the cell phone with the app serves just like that Star Trek tricorder and communicator, both of them together. Okay. Right, and this is where the player will be able to log in and interact with whatever the game mission is through their devices. Now, so we have then, that's a real life situation. It's a real life gathering. And also we are using real uniforms. This is unlike LARPing, where people make their own uniforms. We don't have that. We have an official uniform, and that's what you will use when we get together as the ship. Everybody in SPACEPERIUM has practically the same uniform, except that there are differences depending on which ship you're on and other little things like that. But everybody will easily be able to distinguish ships and rankings, from the uniform. But it also makes quite a spectacle when we are all together in public. Then so that's like the first introduction of a device, real life public gathering, and mission all together, wrapped up together. And also then we have the LARP experience. So we've played online a few times this month, let's say. And then there's a LARPing experience, let's say later on in the month. So we all go on mission, actually go to the LARPing location. And that would be a mission. So those missions are like the Star Trek, like when they beam down to a planet and they're there on a diplomatic mission or an exploring mission or whatever. So that would be the same type of thing. You go, if they called for the uniform or not, or whatever type, and then you go and everyone has their devices, and then you go and do the mission, whatever the mission is. There's different types. So that's the difference, and that's the main LARPing experience, at least at this phase of the game. So you have the meetups, you have the live action role play mission, away missions that you called it on Star Trek, and then you have your online ship, missions. So that's basically, as the game starts up in any given area, that ship will have those three things happening, month to month, week to week. Is there any question you have right now?
So you'll teach me how to do all that by and do you have like a handbook that you can like send?
Yeah, everything is being developed, so you'll get the information as it gets developed. Right now, you have the website. I'll give you a link through the Meetup the message function. I'll send you those links after the video today, after the meeting.
Right.
And
can you,
and there is a difference. Remember, the game master is a different thing than the players, right? So I'll give you the link to watch the game master video. But the game master video is the game master position is very particular, right? But the players don't need to worry about game mastering. There's two different things that the game is different for each, so you don't have to worry about it, right?
right.
Are you what are you studying in school, for design or for the game creation itself?
Just video game design.
Okay, that's
I'm
good.
going for bachelor's degree.
Alrighty, that's great. Yeah, my family member enjoyed his time there at Full Sail, and yeah. So
Yeah, and I'm already starting to get my iPad.
very good. Oh yeah, you got that.
Yeah, and I'm getting and I heard towards the end of the 4th month of my course, it says I get a gaming computer.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking if it'll work with my Chromebook, because that's what I have. All I have right now.
Yeah, it shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, the only one that has more of a challenge is the Game Master. But I'll let you know, I don't want you to, I'm not trying to pitch you on the Game Master. The Game Master is a business involvement. So, so that's so that you understand that. But to play the game, you don't have to be involved as a Game Master. But so that you understand. And you're just basically doing what you're doing now. So there's no more need than being able to watch video like you do, like watching a Twitch game. So it'll be the same experience for player, and you're using voice. So whatever, I think obviously your computers can handle that. I have an issue because I have 2 instances of OBS. I got chats open, and I still don't have, and I have the Jitsi open, which is a whole different thing. I have YouTube broadcast open, and I have and I don't have the user interface, which the Game Master would have to have as well. So that obviously it taxes the computer. It's handling it, but like when you saw me having to switch, that's So we have to take care of everything gently. So basically, that gives you a general overview of that phase of the game. After that, we are going to introduce a military division. I have other videos that explain that process as well. Again, the players who play the first LARPing division don't need to move into the military. They can, and they have first choice. So it's their option to be military, to become military once that division opens. There's a requirement they have to fulfill, though, before moving over to the military position, and that's that. Once they fulfill that requirement, they can go to the military. Now and the difference with the military is that when they go LARPing, they will have military type LARPs, which is a little different than and more fun. I won't do it. I'll design the stuff, but I'll let you youngins deal with that because it's going to be like military, and what we have planned is exciting. So you have smoke, and you're going to have running around and actually having combat. And using, of course, we want to be able to use the device with the Bluetooth and create a way to have some type of a firing recording system, either at the place that they're LARPing or using the devices. We're still going to develop on that. And or use, because they already have certain types. I don't want to make it like so Star Warsy or whatever, but they do have rifles that are electronic, that signal electronically and stuff like that. We'll try. I'm trying to do something with the devices more than just going around with guns. But guns are fun too. But like I said, we plan to make it quite exciting for the military branch, and that would be the difference. There, when they get on to do their twitching, their missions will be military, but in nature, not necessarily always combative online. It won't be that way either, but they will be dealing with military issues. When they go and explore a planet, they're looking at military purposes, stuff like that, as opposed to when the regular group goes to a planet, they're exploring, possibilities of colonization, or growing bananas, whatever, so different type of consideration. All right, so that completes that LARPing phase there. Like I said, we're also developing decentralized apps to use on the devices that other people will be able to play certain things that will be SPACEPERIUM related, but it won't be doing what we're doing, like on Twitch, on TV, or whatnot. So there'll be other little games, little SPACEPERIUM type games that people would be able to play in the communities, geo-based and whatnot. We also have a plan to have people designing things for SPACEPERIUM, for colonization, designing things, for use in the game, and that is also something that it's going to be developed by the community, and for the communities. So we're looking.
I would like to help with the design.
Bravo. So yeah.
Yeah.
So you're in a game that, since it's being developed, you're in a game where you can actually do some developing in and participate in it that way. There's a lot of information on that, huh?
Because I'm in school for good game design.
Yeah. That's why I said this would be perfect for you.
Yeah.
Right. So you can actually contribute, and there's ways. I mean, I don't know how good you are now, but if you can tell you right now that if you can design some ships, if you're into that at all, I have the idea. I have the concept for the ship. I just need we need just someone to make it happen, make it look real. So when you get to the stage that you feel, when you get to the stage that you feel that you're ready to do that, you let me know.
All right.
If you got something to do, go ahead, take care of it.
Hold on.
Yeah. Go ahead. Take a break. Take a break. I'm here.
Would the LARPing be would the game be kid friendly? Because I got kids that would love to do this probably.
The problem here, I'm going to tell you frankly, is that there's only 100 positions on the crew. Only 100 crew members per ship. So I really don't see how it's not going to be open that way that little kids will be able to join, because there's also the issue is that the crew members earn income.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be at least 18. They have to be able to develop income with their crew membership. Like I said, but the kids could play the DAPs. They can play the small games that I say we're developing to that they can play those. And then of course when the final video game comes out, that is also something they'll be able to play.
I'll take some coding boot camp so I can be prepared to help design your ships.
Right. Now I have the design concept, so that the ships have a certain definite design. So it's not like you have to come up with a certain design, because I already have the design. What it needs to be is designed. Okay, you understand what I'm trying to say about that?
Yeah.
The concept I have is quite easy. I'll tell you what it is. It's simple. There's 3 types of ships in our empire. Okay, you have the Statel ship, you have the Citadel ship, and you have the Zonal ship. Now, if you see, the Statel ship refers to a state, right?
Yeah.
State, like in the United States, the state, New York State, Florida State. You're in Florida. This Florida State ship, the Statel ship, has to look like Florida, like the state of Florida. That's the shape of it. The Citadel ship is the city. So let's say like New York City, it's a classic shape. When you see the silhouette of New York City, that is the ship right there. All you're doing is taking Manhattan, Manhattan and making it into a Citadel ship. That's what it is. So what we want is that the ships to look like their namesake. So if it's New York Citadel, it has to look like the New York City. When they see the shadow of it and they see the outline. When you see, any, and this goes also with other countries as well, other country states. When that city is represented by their ship, it has to look like that city. So that brings to the players at least some relationship to their region, their city where they're playing at. The zonal ships are the only ones that don't have the shape of their zip code zone. They're based on zip codes, but the ship shape is simply like a mailbox. It's simply a mailbox.
Alright.
Okay, so I don't. Yeah, you have the mailbox outside the house, right, on the stick. So you're simply that loaf of bread shape like that. Yeah, those are the zonal ships. That's the shape they have, and those fit into the Citadel ship. So the Citadel ship, so that you see the video game or when videos are made, the Citadel ships will have these little hangars that look like the mailboxes. The mailboxes will go into the hangar just like that. So they can have that whole side full of mailboxes, which are the zonal ships. They go in and out. Simple. So that design is simple. The city design is simple as well because it's the shape of the city. And then the Statel ship receives all the Citadel ships within the Statel ship. So it's able to do that. And then on uh, one of the things that are made, we have a movie director working with us. He's going to be making the TV shows and the movie. But on one of the movies, it's going to have at one time, because people are not going to realize this, I'm telling you that, but people are not going to realize that all the ships, when they connect, will look like for the U.S. contingent, will look like the USA. So that all these ships can interconnect. And then you're looking at the map of the USA, when they go to that. So, and one of the movies, the ships will join up together. And, you see all these odd shapes, all these strange looking ships. People will be looking at all these strange ships with, rectangles and whatever, and arches or whatever. And all these ships coming together and boom, 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 whatever it is, and filling the screen, this dark image, this shadow, and then turning over like this. And then you'll see the map of and they will freak out, because then they'll realize, holy cow, all of these ships form the U.S., etc., etc. So that is the idea that I want to have. That's just simply to connect to the audience and to connect to the players there. So that's the reason we have that. It's just a part of the game that we have to connect to the people. Not that it's a necessary thing, but I think it makes. I think it's an added feature that creates interest in the people. All right, so we got that good question in so far from this question posed, and we'll wait for another question, or wait for Wolfric to chime in again. So, talking about our guest that we had just a minute ago, it seems like he's really excited about starting his college education at Full Sail, and he's going to be a designer, I should say. He's going to be a game designer, so that's very interesting and applaudable. And we're happy to, have people like him interested in our game, SPACEPERIUM. It's just something that he can work on while the game is being developed, and that's something really good. So, that'll be special, right? As he goes through this really special opportunity. He's trying to get in. He was having internet connection issues. So just give them another minute.
Sorry, lost connection.
Yeah, I understand that. Once you went outside, I said, uh-oh. Usually happens when you go out that door. You got to sit in the right spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I think I had discussed about that first phase, and then of course the military phase is after that, and then from that point on, we are going to be developing the game into the video game, which again would be a different a level, and also open to the general public to play it. But even as we go along, the 100 people in that crew will pretty much stay that crew. So it's a limited opportunity to play the game, actually, especially the first phase, which is what we're opening up right now. So the first thing to do is really to recruit the first 100 of your ship. That's the first thing. So basically, let people know about the game, about the meetup. In your case, there's a meetup. Usually we're using meetups to recruit for the ship. So basically it's letting people know, or putting an advisement in the Craigslist, letting them know, hey, there's a new ship opening up, so SPACEPERIUM. We need a few more crew members. Here's some information about the game. Come and join us, and basically that's all that needs to happen. And once the crew reaches 100, then that's a commander or an admiral in this game by promotion or anything like that. It's very rare that it can happen, because most of the position is a business position. It is a business a license. The game master makes a different amount of money from the game itself. Because of their duties. They have very serious business duties with the game. So, but there's one very important thing I forgot to mention. I think is most popular, people would really like to know about, so I might as well tell you about it. When I was saying that remember I told you about the doctor, a real life doctor would become a doctor in SPACEPERIUM. Well, the thing is this also, that the characters are preserved in the video game. So when we develop the characters for the video game, they will be the same players, their animated version in the space game, those who play now in the LARPing phase right now. So that group of 100 players, they are part of the game for good, in terms of being a digital player in the game, a digital person on the crew of the said ship. So let's say you have the video game and you have the Orlando Citadel. Well, and let's say you are a member of the Orlando Citadel crew now. You are your figure, your character will be in the SPACEPERIUM game. So you will have your own character, and that will be in the game as well. So if you're a character, and that's also another piece of work that you can earn money from, if you know how to do characters. If you can make a character of yourself or of a person, and that will be something that you will be able to earn income from as well, as part of developing that for the game. So I think that's a special feature. That's a nice thing. Like I was saying, the TV guy, the movie director, we are the stars. We're the movie stars. We ain't hiring any movie stars from outside. Actually, when you do your LARPs, they will be recorded. So the movie director will put things together and form the TV shows and the movies from the content that our players create. So you guys will be on your missions.
I'm busy right now. So.
You're popular over there. They need you. You will be on the mission, and you will be recording. You can do it yourself. Record yourself, or someone else will be recording. And those things will be used, enhanced, whatnot, and used actually as footage for any movie or TV production that we have for SPACEPERIUM. And who knows, that can be the start of your acting career. Anything can happen, right? But I think that's a great thing that we're doing that no one else is doing. We can do it because of the integration we have between TV and movies, and the LARPing phase, and then going towards the video. I think we're combining all of those aspects together, and there's great opportunities here. So I've talked a lot. There's so much more detail than you can imagine, but I can do better by answering any questions that you may have. Anything else that's important to you?
So how do I navigate through SPACEPERIUM website? Where's the videos on here?
Video on the website, there are no videos except for the ones you saw on the LARP, that explain what a LARP is, and whatever other thing I have there. I have video content that still has to be edited and put up. I have a separate YouTube channel for SPACEPERIUM, but that is not ready yet for any display. If there's any particular information that you want, I can always find that video on one of my channels or upload it and give you access to it.
Yeah, because what's all I can see on SPACEPERIUM?
Are you on Twitch?
I can see if I can get Twitch on my computer.
If you're on Twitch, I can give you the Twitch. YouTube, you can look for Play Paybox, same thing on Twitch. And subscribe to those channels, YouTube and Twitch. And you will...
I'm on Twitch right now.
Now, in the future, I'm going to be making, re-editing the videos to give specific information, because I do a lot of broadcasting. What you see if you see Twitch and YouTube, you'll find very long videos, 6 hours long, 11 hours long, just because I run it as a broadcast network. I do many videos on different subjects and different things, different interests. So I run it like a TV network. That's what I also run. So you'll see some streams that last a long time. So in those streams, instead of you trying to go dig through all of them, I'm still putting things, re-editing things so that you can get concise information about certain, like certain questions that people will have and certain information about the game. I'm going to be making it as short videos, explainer videos, and things like that. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. What you can watch though is the Game Master opportunity video, because in it, not that I want you to consider that, but in it gives you a lot of information about the game itself. So I would encourage you to go look at that, even though, you got to focus on your college. I don't want you to do that business aspect of it, really, but focus on your college better. But you'll see the video and you'll get more information. The information that I'm telling the Game Master or the future Game Master about the game, okay? What I told you about the apps that we're developing, there's some new stuff that we're putting together, but you'll be seeing that soon. If you subscribe to the channel, you'll be seeing me do those announcements shortly in the coming week. Because I was going to do a video on that, like for next week anyway. So you'll be staying up to date on that. And the only thing to do really is to help us out, help out the ship fill out its crew. Because the sooner we get the 100, the sooner you get to start to play the game and get the ball rolling. Orlando is first, so you got to get Orlando up and running. Okay. All right. Any other questions? I'll be sending you links to what I have after the meetup here. So. Anything else that you need? Any questions?
I have no other question, but do I get to make my own character?
Well, you get to be your own character. So you create. When I say create, as a designer, as an artist, you can recreate yourself as a character. But it's not changing the way you look. You know what I'm trying to say? It's not that you become like this ogre or something like that. Okay? It's not. We're real human beings in space. So basically, the game, like for me, it's going to be me. It's going to be a caricature of me, but you will know me. You can see me as the character and also in person and know it's me. So yeah, that's what we want to be able to do. Now, there's certain license you can use. You don't have to be like for me. I don't know. I'll have a robe on anyway. My role has a robe. Uses a robe, so I can cover up whatever. So I don't have to be this or that. You have certain license, but the people, you should be able to recognize yourself as the character. Right? There should be something that says, you look like that character. That's you. Yeah, that's me. Something like that. But you have some license, but we want to, again, we're trying to keep it as real as possible, So.
What about can my character have like a sword and he's like a professional assassin?
Well, we don't have that in SPACEPERIUM. Now, the military branch may have, you may do something militaristically, but that's a future development, right? It's not, it's not what we're doing now. All right. Okay. So, you watch the video. If you have any questions, yeah, how you doing from Brazil? Someone's chiming in from Brazil. Hey, que fai? You gonna play SPACEPERIUM? I got somebody in Brazil chatting with me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, they're saying hello from Brazil. The best of Brazil. All right. So that's it then. So we'll call it a night. I'll send you some links Feel free to ask your questions through the meetup. And just communicate with me if you know, and just keep the dialogue going, and invite people other people like yourself that are interested in space. People interested in space, people interested in the future of colonizing space, exploring space, and those who want to play a game. Have them join up the ship, the crew. There's income that they can make here, so it might be something that'll replace somebody's job or be an extra income for them for whatever. So I think it's worthwhile. Only for 100, only for the 100 here in the Orlando area. So the sooner they get in, the better it'll begin for everybody else. All right, sir. Take care. Thanks for coming, and see you guys soon on the ship. Take care.
Take care. Bye.